You're tuned into Life is a Sacred Journey. Every week, we bring a new perspective to aging and caregiving. Here is your host, Micheal Pope.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the virtual neighborhood of Life is a Sacred Journey. I'm getting my camera back where it needs to be. It's so good to be with you this morning. It's Friday morning. Wow, already. And it's February already. I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. That's all I guess I need to say is I can't believe it. It's a great day, and you have joined us at Life is a Sacred Journey. I am your host, Micheal Pope, and it is always my honor to get up every morning or every Friday morning at 8 o'clock and to be here with all of you. Thank you to all of you that come and join us in this platform every Friday morning. We are working on and lining up all of our guests. We've had communication drops and all kinds of things, so just bear with us. We will be bringing new folks on to just really talk about things that are happening in the world of caregiving, as well as just things that are going on. We will also be looking at and contacting all the folks that were on the show during the beginning of the pandemic, just to see how they're faring and to hear where they are now, sort of like COVID, where you are now kind of thing. And then we're going to be working on, we're going to test it as the days get a little bit longer. We're going to test doing a live show. And we're not really sure where we're going to do it and who we're going to do it with, but we will be doing that. So I want to thank you all for joining Life is a Sacred Journey this Friday morning. It is a crisp, beautiful morning in Northern California, and wherever you are, I hope the day either has gone well for you, because I know we have people over in Europe and Africa. I want to send a big shout out to Nkatya, who is the voice that you hear announcing me on Life is a Sacred Journey. He had a birthday this week, and we just want to say happy birthday, NK. We love you. He is doing major things in Africa in the financing world, and we just love him so much. And thank you, NK, and happy birthday to you. And we hope that you had one of the best birthdays ever. I get to live vicariously through NK's life. I follow him on Instagram, and we just love him so much. So thank you, NK. You're a every Friday contributor to Life is a Sacred Journey. This morning, since we don't have a guest, I wanted to share with you, first of all, that you already know this is Black History Month, which is amazing and wonderful. And one of the things that my good friend Stacy said to me the other day was she wants to celebrate Black History Month in a way that we are really celebrating and not always going back and bringing up the doom and gloom stories of the African story, the African diaspora, all of that, to bring up the joys and the accomplishments and the unity and the connection with other ethnicities, and cultures. And so for this Black History Month, I just want to say to all of you, celebrate something in the Black community, in the African American community, in the African American culture. Celebrate something in your home, learn something new, create a new meal, a new recipe, and then go back in time and figure out where it came from and why it exists. Maya Angelou, I looked for it this morning and I'll look for it next week. One of my friends, Karen, gave me a beautiful cookbook by Maya Angelou where she took the recipes of her family, but she told the backstory. And if you can find that, I'll show it to you next week. I'll find it. It's in my house somewhere. I think it's with the cookbooks, but I don't know where they are because I'm purging right now. But I wanted to raise up some Black authors that you might want to go and look and see. This is an incredible book that was given to me by my friend Stacy for my birthday or Christmas or something. I don't even know. But Love is the Way, Holding On to Hope in Troubling Times by Bishop Michael Curry. This is an amazing book. This is a book that when you think that all is lost and there's nothing left, love is the way. And Bishop Curry really goes into how we as a community and a humanity can come together under the umbrella of love and really change the world. So this is a great book. Also, Carolyn A. Brent, I'm back in this book again because I began on February 1, a 10-day fast. And so I'm going to be sharing that with you after this. But this book has become a Bible of health for me. And Carolyn Brent just became a PhD. So Dr. Brent, Transforming Your Life Through Self-Care, a guide to tapping into your deep beauty and inner worth. This is a great book for caregivers. This is a great book for anyone. And just because it's written by a woman, it's also good for men as well. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is I found this little book, I'm Purging, and it looks like I bought it from Starbucks. I have no idea when. It was $6.95. It's called The Traveler. And it's by Darren Simpkin, and his brother Daniel is does the drawings. So he is the artist that does the drawings in the book. And this is an amazing little inspirational book. And it talks about Charlie, and he's a traveler. And so if you can get this, this is a really great inspirational thing to have on your coffee table or to give to somebody as a gift. The other book that I want to raise up for you, but I'll do it at the end because the cover has an amazing question on it that I'd like to close our podcast with this morning. So those are the books. We're celebrating again Black History Month. Black History Month is full of us understanding that the African-American culture is responsible for so many inventions and things that we all benefit from. The elevator, the super soaker, when you walk into the hotel, what I always used to call the pie door, where you scoot along and scoot along. I remember I used to love that thing. I used to scoot it around, come back out, scoot it around. All of those things. So do your homework, learn more about the African-American culture so that we can come together in unity. Every ethnicity, every culture has something to celebrate. We're in the year of the tiger. So happy New Year, happy New Year, happy New Year, year of the tiger to all of our Asian siblings and family and folks that we share this wonderful planet with. So let's just celebrate everything. Diversity means celebrating the wonder that we all carry inside of us and that we bring to the table, that we bring to this story, the human story, the world story. So thank you for joining me on Life is a Sacred Journey. I am Micheal Pope, your host. These books back here were sent to me. It's so funny how Amazon always delivers something, or I get my gifts right after we tape. But these books were sent to me by Nancy. Nancy is a follower, a deep friend of Life is a Sacred Journey, and takes a piece of my heart with her everywhere she goes. And they are I Am Peace, I Am Human, I Am Love. I put them on my Facebook and shared them with all of you. And I sat down, it was a heavy grant day, and I sat down and read them. And thank you, Nancy. They gave me so much joy. And this little doohickey here, this little baby here, I want to talk about this a little bit. This is a gift from a new assisted living community that is coming into the Berkeley area called Elegance Berkeley, and they're going to be opening up sometime in May, and I will be getting their executive director to come and to talk to us about their assisted living, so that if there are any of you out there or friends that you know that are looking for a congregate living situation for their loved one living with dementia or Alzheimer's, the Elegance of Berkeley is a place that you might want to look into as they begin. They're not open yet. They're still doing a lot of construction, but I've seen the pallets for the rooms. Oh, it's just a beautiful, it will be a beautiful, beautiful place. So we'll have them on so that you can ask questions in the chat and all of that. So how are you all this morning? Write in the chat. Tell me how you're doing. Are you doing okay on this February? What is it already? Doggone it, February 4th. Okay. All right. So this week I was with Sister T, And she said something to me, and I thought, you know what? I need to share this because I've been threatening to share this with you all along. So there are, was it 2020? Some of you know when I started my health campaign, but I started this health campaign where I was getting, and my blood pressure was going up. I was gaining weight and not understanding why. I was feeling lethargic, all of those things, something that isn't really a part of my personality. And I thought, let me see what's going on. I first made sure that it wasn't medical, which it wasn't. And I began to really look at health. Dr. Carolyn Brent walked with me on this, and I called her and asked her many, many questions. And then I began to do a lot of research on the human body, the cellular, parts of our body where restorative stuff happens, where the immune system is being enhanced. And I began a vitamin regime as well as wellness, mindfulness, walking, because I can't run anymore. Some of you know who've known me a long time. I was a runner, even casually, for a long time. And then now I have arthritis in my knees and can't do that. But I didn't want to become, I wanted to age without having a whole lot of medications in my life. So again, you know, everything that I share on Life is a Sacred Journey is not to say for you to go out and to do this on your own. I did all of this in consultation with two physicians, a holistic physician and a Kaiser physician. And so, you know that you must do what is right for you, and you need to do it with consultation, because some of us are on medications that sometimes some of these vitamins don't work with, or they may make those medications less effective, or they may cause a problem. So always do any medical change in consultation with a physician. So the first thing I want to share with you is the things that I put in my juice. So every morning I wake up, I have, and I meant to bring this too, but I'll continue this journey with you. I have a water purifier carafe next to my bed, and it purifies the water. So I pour the water in a glass, and the first thing I do before I get up, the first thing I do is count back from 100. So this is my first regime. I count back from 100. I do some deep breathing, kind of settle myself, lean over, take my glass of water, drink a glass of water first before I get out of the bed. So those are the things that I do. Those three things I do before I even plant my feet to the ground. Okay. And I made them all accessible so I don't have to plant my feet to the ground. And then once I'm up and about, after I go and walk my dogs, not so much now because it's really dark. And if I have to be somewhere early, it's hard to walk them. I walk them more in the afternoon. I let them just run out in the backyard to do what they need to do and come back in the morning. But as the days get longer, there's a 30 to 45-minute walk after all of that with the dogs. And then I come home and I make a smoothie. Okay. So one of the powders that I put in my smoothie is this adaptogen powder. And it has ashwagandha, rhodiola, tulsi, and let me see, I'll tell you all the other. It has 1 gram of protein. It has 93 milligrams of vitamin K, 2 milligrams of iron, and 150 milligrams of potassium. Okay, so this is really great stuff, and it mixes really well in the juice. I'm all out of my the juice that I use as the base for this, but you can get all of this at Trader Joe's. So the juice that I mix this in is the celery, apple, ginger, lemon juice, and it's green, okay? And it's got all this stuff in it. So this goes in it. And then this organic brain support goes in as well. This has matcha, bacopa, lion's mane, and also some other. All of these things, both of these items are plant-based. They're done by Amazing Grass, They're not that expensive. They last a while because you're only putting in 1 teaspoon. They will, in the beginning, create some bowel movement kind of thing. So you want to be, know that when you change any of these things, you want to watch you want to watch those things and just be aware. So always have a journal when you begin any of these new things in your diet. I take a probiotic pill in the evening before I go to bed with a glass of water. And then in that glass of water, there is a organic charcoal that I put in the water. The water turns black. It doesn't have a taste. In the beginning, your brain is like, why are you drinking black water? But what that does is get in your belly there and take out all of the acids, and it absorbs. Charcoal is an absorber, right? So when people back in the day would OD, or sometimes they still do, that's what they do. They put charcoal in, so it would absorb the chemical, absorb the toxins. And I drink that every night before I go to bed, along with a green tea. So let's talk about the vitamins, and let's talk about fasting. So I am now on a 10-day fast. I began it February 1st. February 10th will be the last day. I work with or use a company called Herbs for my fasting herbs. There's a whole bunch of companies out there that you can get the same herbs for. I'm just telling you again who I use, who I trust, because I've been fasting for a long time. So the 10-day fast comes with 3 bottles of vitamins, okay? And what they've done is the first one you take, I'll be taking this around 10 o'clock. All the vitamins are timed. Why are they timed? They're timed because of the way they release in your body. They're timed because, one, you take 5 of them. So that's 15 different pills a day. And then they're timed so that they don't overlap, but they also have an intersection with each other and how they stimulate the parts of the body that they were put together to support. So the first vitamin that you take at 10 o'clock is the blood and lymphatic. Let me see if I can get that closer for you. Maybe this way. There we go. The blood and lymphatic. And that's this is for a full body cleanse. And it's the Express program because they have a 40-day one that I've done, and you eat nothing but raw food. So I'm eating nothing but raw food right now. Hard to get used to if you've never done it before. I love it because it makes me experiment with my salads and all of that. Let me tell you what's in this so that you know. Dandelion root, burdock root, kelp, algae, olive leaf, beetroot, chickweed herb, another kind of bark, spironella, yellow dark root, dragon's blood, bitter fruit, red clover herb, and golden seal, which we already know. Golden seal and cayenne pepper are help to stimulate the blood and get the lymphatic system moving. So this is your first vitamin. Again, you do not have to do this through Herbs. You can go to any GNC or vitamin store. I always say go to a vitamin store or a vitamin online network that you can really, it's organic, and you can research the contents of the vitamins. Okay. The other is the liver, spleen, and gallbladder. So we already know the liver plays an important role in cleansing our bodies, the gallbladder, the spleen, and this has some of the same vitamins or minerals into the first one, but then they've added other things that are specifically helping the cleansing of the liver, spleen, and the gallbladder. And then that's around, this is at 10, the first one. This one I think is at 2, something like that. And then the full body cleanse express colon digestive tract. And again, this is not a commercial for the vitamins that I take. I'm just telling you what I do. Do it yourself and with your own stuff, if in your own company that you love and trust. And this, you take it in the evening, because this is set up again to help with the bloating, to get rid of the, it's for the digestive tract. So things happen. So this, I take at 7 o'clock, and usually by morning, the wonderful nature thing that nature does, that's happening. So what these things do together are cleanse the body, the places in the body, the blood, the lymphatic system, the liver, the spleen, the gallbladder, all the parts of the body that are the cleansing mechanisms of the body. They need to be clean too, so that they can do this heavy lifting. You know, your colon and your belly and all of this does an incredible amount of heavy lifting to make sure and to ensure your health status. And so keeping it fresh and clean, and keeping your colon and all of these things flushed through on a regular basis is very important to your health, to your brain health, and all of that. So those are the diet sort of things. Somebody asked me, what do I do and what are the vitamins that I take? The only thing that I did not bring that I do add to the smoothie 4 times a week is collagen. And it's a grass-fed collagen powder, and I add that 2 scoops of that 4 times a week. I don't do it every day, because collagen is one of those things, if you read, you have to be careful because it can be toxic. So you again, do your homework. I did a lot of homework. I can't tell you how many books I have. I went to a holistic doctor here in Berkeley and had a consultation with him prior to. Talk to my doctor at Kaiser, all of those kinds of things before I did any of this, to make sure that I was doing the right thing to support my physical health, as well as that I was doing no harm, because we don't want to do things that will bring us any kind of harm. The next thing that H2O, pardon me, this is the most important thing that you can do. But I will say to you, all the books will tell you, you know, how much water to drink. For some of us, that's an impossibility. I finally figured that out. Drink as much as you can, but drink water, okay? And if you can drink what they advise, I don't even know what it is. It's a lot. It's a lot, because I tried it. But at least if you can get a good couple of these into you, or one of them into your body a day, start off with a glass of water just before you get up, and then keep putting water in, even if it's just drinking a bottle a day. It is so important to your immune system, your pH balance, all of that. And purified or alkaline water always seems to be the best water to drink. And again, I boil my water. I buy bottled water very rarely now. I try not to, because of the plastic, and I'm trying to be a good steward. But the reality is, drinking water is so important to our health, and it flushes. It helps, again, flush out your vitamins. Yes, your vitamins do flush out of you. That's why it's taking some of them on an empty stomach and finding companies that can help you to do that in the morning. There's a healthy aging company out of France, I think they are, and they have a wonderful vitamin, but then it was overkill with the fasting, and you really have to be careful, because vitamins, while they can be good for you, they can also be toxic. I want to tell you about the raw food diet here a minute, and really say to you, raw food means raw food. So that means you're not cooking it to any temperature. It's better for you. So then what does that mean? You know, you're eating a great deal of vegetables and salad and all of that. I have found that it is so wonderful when you add dates, when you add currants, when you add fresh fruit, strawberry cut up, apples cut up, when you use a beautiful vinaigrette, that balsamic vinegar with a delicious olive oil. You can get olive oil, flavored olive oil. I like the lemon citrus olive oil, and I mix that up with just Mix it up with the balsamic vinegar, sprinkle that on top, shake it up. And because, I'm gonna be full disclosure, I don't even take it out the bowl that I mixed it in, because I usually eat that whole bag of salad in an evening. So I get the bag of healthy greens. You know, I had a garden at one point, but since COVID, I have been negligent of it. I have an inside garden now, not an outdoor, but I will do it again. And all of those greens, you mix it up. And then I found that, that it's really fun to also take things that you normally wouldn't eat, that you think you can only eat cooked. And it was asparagus. It was the thin little asparagus, cutting those up in a sort of a julienne kind of way and putting them in the salad. Oh my goodness, delicious. Beets. Loving me some beets these days. Now, eating them raw, very difficult, but you can get them freeze dried and put them in the salad. And once the wonderful balsamic vinegar and oils hit it, tasty. So it is good every once in a while to fast if you can. Some people have health issues where they cannot. And but fasting sometimes just means moving from one mode of food to another, or from one thing, to another. Putting sugar on your food is really important. If it comes with sugar, then that's okay. If Mother Nature puts sugar in it, that's fine, but not adding a sweetener of any kind. So I've done a good job knowing that I was going to fast. I even got rid of the agave and the honey, because I usually do use agave or honey in my sweetening. I love tea like that. So I've been drinking my tea bare. I've gotten used to it. It's kind of cool, but I know I will go back to putting those two things in as a sweetener. Those are the only things. I don't use sugar, and I haven't used processed sugar in a really long time, even in my baking. So those are the, just figure out what your body needs and what works for you, and do research, and then live your best life. Exercise is one of the most important things. And again, I said 35, 40 minutes of exercise. What I have learned, and Carolyn Brent outlines that in her book as well, is weights, free weights. I got rid of the little dumbbell ones and got the kettlebell ones. And I like those because they allow you to do this thing where you can swing out and swing in to help get rid of my bat wings. So exercise is important. And I was going to join a gym, but I realized my schedule will never allow me to do it. And I've already belonged to a gym many years ago where I probably paid for 2 years that I didn't attend. But what I am doing is I went and bought a yoga DVD. And because I can't do the online thing, I just can't. I need something that I can have at my house. And anyway, I'm old school. And I got a Pilates because the gentleman who created Pilates was an asthmatic. And so the movements won't take my breath away. I've done it before, and Pilates works for my body type. So I want to thank you all for coming to Life is a Sacred Journey and learning as I'm learning and sharing. I will tell you, over the last year, I have been blessed. I lost 30 pounds over the last year, even though I may not have looked like it to you. If you go back and look at some of the pictures of me in 2019, 2020, and some of 2021, there's a little bit more of a bloated chubbiness to my face, and my body has changed. You don't get to see that part of me, but it has changed dramatically. And so I know that an ongoing health regime that has moments when you do have a little piece of cheesecake or some ice cream. Those are my two favorite things, but do it every once in a while. You gotta. Or what's life? Geez, come on. Let's not take away everything. But then you got to go back into your restorative way of living so that your immune system, and everything gets restored. That gut, our belly, our gut is just as important. I think there's a brain in there too, and they are connected together to keep us healthy. So it's early enough in the year, and it doesn't matter when you start. And it's not to be like anybody else. It's to just say, how can I be my best self? What are the things that I need to do to remain healthy? So before we go, I want to, over the last week, a young lady who was a beauty queen, news broadcaster, beautiful, beautiful young woman, I think 29, 30 years old, something like that. She went to the 29th floor in New York City and jumped. And I know there's people that have come into my DM, and sometimes they say really ugly things and bully and do whatever. I ignore them because whatever. But a part of it was that she was bullied, told she was ugly, by people, and racist, all kinds of things. And she's gone at 29, 30 years old. That is a shame and appalling that we live in a time where we are trying to reach out from our bedrooms, living rooms, garage, car, back alley to attack people that we don't know. On what standard do we have the right to do that? Too many people are taking their lives, my friends. They are saying that there's no hope, that there is no future, that there is nothing that is good about them. And so I couldn't find my lighter this morning, but in your head, let's light a candle for all these people out there, humanity across the world, who feel that their lives don't matter. So much so that if you've ever seen the 29th floor of a building in New York City, to actually get to the edge of it and do a matrix dive, like you can fly to the concrete, there's no change in one's mind. It is final. It is complete. It is finite. So as you wander this world, as you are a traveler through your sacred journey, if you see someone out there who you can feel it, something in your gut tells you this person needs help, reach out and just say hello. Your hello may be the safety net that they needed. Even if you're afraid to say something, smile at them with your eyes. If you're farther enough away, take your mask down and smile at them. Nod your head. Acknowledge this person that you're feeling this vibration of desperation coming off of. The number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, they don't even call it a hotline. Thank you for the correction. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 800-273-8255. They have a website. They have an official chat line. They're there 24 hours a day nationwide. What is the number again? And Felicia, please put it up in the where people will be able to see it. 800-273-8255. It is important. And for those of you who have never been depressed enough that you felt that your life wasn't worth anything, that's a blessing. And that's a wonderful thing. I'm not one of those people. And so I know that if it had not been through love, through people seeing the humanity in me, I might not be here today. My 20s and my teenage years were the worst years of my life. And I'm a good faker of the funk. And so why do I tell you that? The strongest person in your life, the person who you think can get through anything, they need your phone call now. The strongest person, the person who seems to be there for everybody else, the person who looks like they just skate through life like they've been skating on ice skates all of their life, they need your call right now. So thank you for coming to Life is a Sacred Journey. You matter to the world. You matter to me. You matter to the Life is a Sacred Journey community. And so call that 1-800 number. Get some help if you feel like you don't matter, because you do. This is a great book. When Starbucks first opened, Starbucks used to have wonderful books. I don't even know the philosophy behind what they were thinking, but I'll look it up. So I want to read this to you. This book is called Number One, and it says, how many people does it take to make a difference? So while I'm reading this, write in the chat, how many people does it take to make a difference? And I'll read this to you and then say goodbye. One of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself or anyone else is inspiration. Inspiration to get in touch with your dreams. Inspiration to seek out your deepest passions. Inspiration to make a difference in the world, a difference that only you can make. And it's not about success. It's about feeling significant, feeling seen. It's not about making a living. It's about making a life. It's not about fame or acclaim. It's about contribution and service. Instead of asking, what can I get from life? Watch what happens when you ask, what can I give? It's a great book. I'll continue to share it with you. At the back, it says, the purpose of life is to discover your gift. The meaning of life is to give your gift away. And I really do believe that. That is why Life is a Sacred Journey exists. The only gift that I have to give you is my journey through life. The only gift that I have to give you is how inspired I am by this sacred journey and all the people that have come and some have gone on the road of my life. And so I want to thank you all for joining me. I want you to go out today, hug a tree. Skylar said he hugged a tree. So go out and hug a tree, pet a dog, pet a cat, watch a squirrel, because we added that last week. Add in the chat what you think is a good thing for people to do. Be quiet with yourself. And more importantly, know that you, yes, you can make a difference in the world. And you who are feeling like you can't and you're feeling despair and grief, know that you matter. You matter, and you are a part of the great ripple of the life that we all live. And without you, our lives would not be what they are. So thank you all for coming to Life is a Sacred Journey. I am your host, Micheal Pope. Keep coming back. Keep hitting the share button. Keep telling people about us. We will have some guests. Woo! Did you hear that? We will have guests set up soon, and we will be having great interviews. Thank you, Steve Schallenberger. Yesterday, Steve Schallenberger interviewed me on his podcast. So if you get a moment, skip on over there and check it out. It was a glorious half hour. Have a wonderful day. Be good to yourself. Love the world. Love it, love it, love it. And know that you are loved and you are great and wonderfully made. Have a great weekend. Have a great day. Have a great moment. Have a great second. Enjoy your life. Peace.